Hi, and welcome to our November parent meeting. We know that everyone is busy and has, multiple kids going multiple different directions. And this year we are trying to find some creative ways to get the information out to everyone and also be respectful of your time. So if you like this format, please let myself or Susan or Tim know that this works. If it doesn't and you have another suggestion, we are all ears. We really are here to help you. So today, I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of neat things and then some questions about the newsletter. So to get started, our website has really everything that you need. So the first thing is you're going to want to sign in. And as you see on the top of the bar, we have automatic links to meets, to a little bit of everything. You've got news and you've got old newsletters here. You've got just general information, our mission, about us. We've got our training groups, our discovery group and exploratory, our developmental program, our age groups, our exploratory advance and our challenge programs. Our senior groups are our three pre-senior, our senior, and our senior performance. We've got descriptions, we've got general schedule, and then we also have information about our seasonal programs, the summer squad and the fall squad. You all are aware of the new Safe Sport map. We've added this team information that has policies, outfitting, code of conduct. We also have your parent reps. So we've got a great group of parent rep volunteers for this year, and they're there to kind of answer questions about the program, assist with meets, and all of their information can be found underneath the parent reps. I'm working on a swim meet or a swimming 101 terms. We've got some basic swim meet 101 information, and it goes over what to bring in your meat bag, what to bring for activities, what to bring for yourself as a parent, snacks, just a variety of different things to hopefully give you some more information. But let's go over competition. So on here, this is a one page about everything. The current competitions is going to send you to the registration part. So on here, we have events set up in two different things. You've got general and you have team events. General are generally our stroke clinics, something that is for the greater public. And then our team events are going to have all of our meets and the vast majority of the items that have a registration attached to them. So Coach Lou has been awesome and has worked ahead, and you have most of our meets, even like you see here, you've got May, you've got June. We've got almost the whole year of meets out, so to help you all with planning. But let's look at the November, this quad meet to go through. So when you're looking at the meets, the date here is the first day of the meet. You're going to have the meet name. You're going to have a brief information about the meet, and then you as a parent aren't going to have the email event. That's a coach thing, but you will have a register online or an edit commitment button. So you are going to click on the edit commitment, and this page will show up and it'll have all of your swimmers listed. So if I click on Andrew, he's already done, but I can say, it should show like this. It'll say select, so you can say yes. If there is an issue, you can put a note. So here it says there is a soccer game. He needs to be done by 12 o'clock. You could make a note about, I don't know if my child is qualified for the event. Please let me know. Anything in there, we as a coaching staff see those notes when we do the registration. And then always make sure that you click Save Changes. So that's how you commit. And then when you want to get the information about the actual meet, if you go back to that team, the current competition, and you open up, if you click on the event, it has more detailed, so it'll have an actual start and stop, it'll have a location, more of the expanded description is there, and then you'll have forms and documents that get uploaded as we get them. So if we look let's go to age group champs, because that'll have some information up. So this one's going to be at College Station. Here it's a little different because you've got qualifying time. So in the listing, it states that it's for qualified swimmers only. It gives the details about the prelims and the finals based on the ages. It talks about qualifying times for each of the age groups. And then under this forms and documents, you can see that the preliminary entries have been added, and then the meet announcement has been added. So if you click on the meet announcement, this is what we get from the meet host. So it'll have general notes about the meet and the format about the meet. One important thing is that the location, local information is a good thing to read. For the Aggie meet, we're at College Station. They've got sponsor hotels that have blocks. Several times, if we've got meets that are on a Friday night, if there's any special parking information, it'll be listed here. But this is the meet announcement, goes through all the time and the date, all of that type of stuff. And then, so back to our event page, if you click on preliminary entries, this is your first meet entry report. And you can see we've got Peyton, she's in these events, she's right now in these two relays, so that's what the numbers are. The 13, 14, 400 medley, it describes what the event is, and then on the right side, these are the current times for the events. One thing is, do you see how this has a no name, that the pages go page by page, they're not continuous. So Alex's first two events are at the bottom of that side, and then they go to the top on the right-hand column, and they commit, and they finish up. It can be tricky when we've got multiple pages of athletes, and it looks like you can just read Alex, and then there'd be event 17, 19, 20, and it looks like Alex's events go straight down. But it's one page and then the next. So this shows you your preliminary entries. Now, when the preliminary entries are out, you have got a week or two to make changes. The final entries, once they've been posted, you can no longer make changes. We as a team have to submit the entries and pay prior to the start of the meet. So when you see those preliminary entries, you've got to contact your coach about any questions that they may have, and make sure that they've been updated, because you will be liable when it's done. So those are meets. Now, with these December championship meets, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 different meets based on the level of swimmer. And when you read this brief description, it talks about who's qualified for it, like the Southern Senior Champs. 13 over swimmers need 2 times to be able to swim there. 13 over champs, they need times. Now, depending on the Speedo Junior Nationals, they have to have qualified times. So we make decisions based on the athlete, if they're qualified for multiple events. So for example, our 13, 14 kids, I should say it's primarily girls right now that are qualified, are all going to the age group champs meet. We do not have them going to Southern Senior Champs, although they are qualified for both. That is true for a, say, 12-year-old athlete that's qualified for a Southern Senior Champs. They would only go to a meet that we think is a little bit more age appropriate. For all of our 12 and under swimmers that are not qualified for age group champs, you have a champ meet as well. It's going to be this 12 and under champs meet. Now, when you look at the 13 and over champs meet and the 12 and under champs meet, we do not know the location. We have listed the possible venues. And what the golf does is that we, as one of the 65 golf teams, send in our entries to the golf, and then about a week, 10 days before the meet, they divide up the teams evenly across the different venues. We generally go to the closest venue, and the drive time is generally not more than 45 minutes or an hour. So looking at the 13 and over meet, Notch would be the closest venue. It's off of the Beltway at Wallaceville Road and Beltway 8. For our 12 and under meet, the possible venues are listed here. We've underlined HCAP. That's most likely where we'll go. That is down by the Med Center and Holly Hall. I know some of us swam at the meet there. So that is how you have, and again, when you edit your commitment and you put a note in there, the coaches read all those notes. So if you don't know if your kid qualifies for junior nationals, commit them and write a note and say, hey, does my child qualify? Questions, I'll always ask. And then also always look at the preliminary and the final entries. I know that I'm just as guilty as the next, that sometimes I get behind an email and we try and make sure that we get all the changes in. But there are times where we miss things. So if you had requested a change to the preliminary entries and it was not in, and you see it in the newsletter as the preliminary entries and there's not a revision and your child's still in the meet, please contact us and make sure that we get that change in there. So that is meets and how to decide, how to sign up. And like I said, as I go down, we've got like, this is a 10 under meet, so all 10 unders. This meet is going to be all 11 and overs. And then we've got champ meets here, and it's similar to our December meets that there is a meet for every athlete. Some have qualifying times, but there are meets for like our 13 and overs that have 3A times will go to one meet. Our 13, 14s that don't have 3A times will go to this meet. And I know for our December meets, and if it works out well, I'll do it for February. I do a master spreadsheet of like all of our senior athletes and what meet they'll be going to, and then it has it highlighted so you can see if your child is qualified for Southern Senior Champs, but if they're going to a different meet because it's better for them. So that will be out probably the end of January. So the other place to get information is going to be our newsletters. So at the top, we can go to the drop down, and if you click on the newsletters, and then the current week, after it's posted, it goes up. So the newsletter is really the best place to get a snapshot of what's going on with the team and any changes. So on this first page, you've got the training schedule, and only changes are noted here. So if your child is in the Discovery Advanced group and does not swim on Friday, then you don't need to worry about that. If your child is somebody that normally swims on Tuesdays and Thursdays and we add them on Saturdays, it'll be listed. So only changes are highlighted here. And then on the right-hand side, we've got our upcoming events. Now, everything has already been linked up for your ease. So you've got your final entries, and there was a revision. So that's noted. You've got the itinerary, and this is going to give you day of information. So again, you're going to have the address, the location. We've got the attire. We want the kids to dress as a team. So you've got Saturday, your blue shirt, Sunday, a white or gray shirt, and then you have all of your warm-up information. with timelines. So the morning session, you've got 13 overs and 11, 12 girls. You've got their arrival time, and then you've got their warm-up time. It's very important that we have athletes arrive at the scheduled time. As a group, we want the kids to warm up and get ready together, and that starts with our beginning dynamic warm-up and stretching. We also use the time to go over any announcements or procedural changes of, maybe it's a meet that there is circle in, or it's a meet where they're running 2 pools and the odd heats are all at one pool and the even heats are all at another pool. So that gives us some time to go over that information. For meets that have relays, this is the time that the coaches have to do our relay cards and get our relay cards in. And if your child is not there and in the water ready to go when the warm-ups start, when we have to submit our relay cards, we will make changes. So it's very important that you're arriving on time and you're there for the whole warm-up. At the end of the column, it also shows the meet start and the approximate end time. The other thing too, it's always good, is to do the notes. So like this was for our pool, that the swimmers are going to be using the far pool, that the parents are using the lobby. It's not uncommon for pools to direct traffic in some way like that, so that will all be listed there. So this is the meet itinerary. This is key to making meets pretty successful. We've got job linked here. You've got a psych sheet and you've got a heat sheet. So our psych sheet won't open up. Let's see if I download it. No. So on the heat sheet, you're going to need to print out the heat sheet or download it to your phone. It's going to be a listing of all the events and the heat and lane for all the swimmers. And it's how you can kind of keep track of the meet and know when your child is swimming. And then at the bottom of this first page of the newsletter, we've got just general information about programs that are coming up. So we've got our meet stuff here, and then we have important deadlines in that box. And then below that, we always go through, this is a note from Coach Tim. We've got meet results. So this talks about our kids that were at the open water meet and how well they did. We highlight our upcoming birthdays. We've got our IMX, this is information about our IMX and IMR program, and then links to current listings. And at the end, we've just kind of got new programs that are going and qualifiers. Now, a note about the qualifiers, we pull any swimmer and put them on the list who has 1 qualifying time. So I know on the age group champs, we've got a couple kids that only have 1 time. They're listed underneath the age group champs qualifiers, but they will not participate in the meet until they meet the 3 event requirement. So it's the same thing about Southern senior champs, that they have to have a certain number of cuts to swim. So we list anybody who has a qualifying time standard, but just because their child is listed does not mean that they will swim specifically in that meet. And then we've got best times, time standards at the bottom. So that is our newsletter. Like I said, it's got what's going on, changes, reminders, deadlines. And Susan does a really good job about linking everything, so that way when you open this up, you can go straight to the final entries and you can see. You can go straight to the itinerary and you can see. If you need to declare, you can go straight to the declaration and see. So that is our newsletter. And then one other Meet thing for new people is Meet Mobile. So it is a very handy app, and it works with the Meet host. You can see here that you've got, here's like this Utah Valley Swim Meet. Any meet, you can search for the name of the meet, or you can search nearby, and it's going to have a listing of the events and the swimmers and the teams and the scores. It will also, when you go on there, it'll show you your child and their events and their heat and lane, and then you'll have a psych sheet. I believe if you pay $5 a year, you get results, but it is in your app store. So here's one that says Meet Mobile, and this is like you search, it has your last viewed meets. So that is the best place to go. So you'll need your meet itinerary, and if you have Meet Mobile, you should be pretty good about going to a meet and feeling prepared for a meet. Let me see what I missed on my notes. Oh, big thing is, let's see if I can zoom. Talking to us, talking us to coaches. So we are super busy working with your kids on the pool deck. But we've got some time before and after practice and daytime that we would love to chat. So for myself, Coach Kate, I am generally on my email every day between 10 and 2. So if you shoot me an email, you will most likely get a response back right away. If you email me at 4 o'clock, you probably won't get something till the next day. I do not help with drylands, so that way I'm available to answer questions. So if you come to exploratory practice and you're there when you're dropping your kid off, feel free to grab me. I've got that 15 minutes to answer any questions. Lou is in the same boat. We've got Matt and Daisha doing drylands, so Lou is also available to answer questions right before practice. Coach Daisha generally doesn't have that little bit of a break, so she's best to either meet with her at 6:30 after the Discovery Advanced practice is done, or to shoot her an email. You can ask her questions over email, or you can set up just a conference to make sure that she's there at 4:30, 4:40 to answer any questions you may have before her drylands start. And again, the parent reps are all parents who have been around the sport and the team and are there to help, whether it be where do I order a snorkel, or what type of cap do I need to wear, to, you know, how do I do heat and lane on the arm for the kids, you know, what are my coach's contact information, any of that stuff. They also help plan the fun activities. So if you get an email or a text from them, please read it. They don't reach out that much, so if they are, it's generally something that you're going to need to act upon. So I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any other questions or suggestions or feedback. Like I said, we are here to help you. So thank you. Have a good day.